Before I get into the main topic of this video, I do want to share with you guys a little come up that I had the other day. This is the second, kind of good, let's say, somebody else's misfortune that I've had in the past, month and a half. So I was searching the auction house. I needed to buy some ultimate enchanting stones. So I went to the auction house, I went to go buy some, and look what I found. I found somebody that listed a stack of 7 ultimate enchanting stones for 115,000. I think that he was actually trying to list them one by one for 115,000 because I bought another solo one from him for 115,000, but I think he accidentally didn't split them. And yeah, let's just say I made a good deal and wound up getting 7 ultimate enchanting stones for 115,000. Amazing. Share some of your stories about people actually getting really good deals inside of this video. If you've ever gotten a good deal before on the auction house, man, share your comment down below. I will let you guys in and let you know my biggest come up ever was about a month and a half ago, and this is how I really got kickstarted in the game when I came back. I needed to buy some superior marks of potency, and at the time they were going for around 89,000 each. This was about a month and a half ago on Xbox. So they were going around 89,000 each, and I needed to buy 3 of them. And I searched the auction house, and it was just the right place at the right time, and somebody accidentally listed a stack of 99 superior marks of potency on the auction house for 89,000 Astral diamonds. And yes, I bought it with the quickness. I'm sure that they went to go list 1 and they accidentally didn't split their stack. So I bought 99 superior marks of potency for 89,000 Astral diamonds. And yeah, I sold mostly all of those and I made 7 million Astral diamonds on them. So yeah. But without further ado, let's get into the topic of side of this video, or inside of this video. So what is going on, YouTube? The Assist Man. I am coming back at you guys with another Neverwinter video. I hope all of you guys are enjoying your Labor Day weekend. Maybe you're spending some time with your family. Maybe you're chilling with your parents. Maybe you're spending some time with your friends. Or maybe you're just out shopping, taking advantage of all the Labor Day sales that are going on at retail locations and online across the world. Or maybe you're playing some Neverwinter and you're trying to make some money because there's a lot of stuff that you still need to get in the game. You need some bonding runestones at higher ranks. You need some more artifacts. You need some more gear. You need some higher level enchantments. And you're looking for ways to make some money in Mod 14. Well, I'm going to tell you guys in this video how you can make almost 500,000 Astral diamonds in about 5 hours. So, now, I made a video about this about, say, close to a week ago, a couple days ago, and I titled that video, How to Get and Where to Farm Wanted Posters If You Didn't Have Any in Neverwinter. And I told you guys that you wanted to kill the witches. But there is a specific location, and it's where I am at right now. It's at the top right of the map in Barovia by the cornfields, and there is this little section right here, this little circle, where you pretty much get about 5 different witches to spawn. And you don't even have to move that much. You just get one that spawns here by the cauldron. You get a couple that spawn right over here to the left by the scarecrows. You get this one right here that spawns in the middle of the map. Then you get a pack of them that spawn to the right of where I'm at right now. And then you get one solo Barovian witch that spawns in the forest by herself. And you guys will see the path and, the little spot I'm in right now. It's by the old mill. If you're looking on the map, and there's the wind chime thing, right next to me, there's this thing right here. It's right next to this old mill area, and this is where you're going to find these packs of witches that spawn. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, well, how am I going to make money by spawning witches, by farming witches? Well, the reason why is because of the wanted posters. The wanted posters, even though they have came down tremendously in value, they still sell for a lot of money. And in my opinion, I feel that this is by far the best way of making money right now in Neverwinter in Mod 14. Now, as time transpires and as time has transpired, these posters have came down in price. But I feel that on the Xbox One, that they have finally settled in to where they're selling for. I haven't seen much movement on them now over the past 2 days. And I think they've settled into the prices they're going to stay at for a pretty good amount of time. It seems that tier 1 posters are selling for around 12,000. Some tier 2 posters are selling for like 20,000, others for like 30 to 40,000. And the tier 3 posters, some of them are selling for like 20,000. I'd say the Lazaric one is selling for 20,000. The Rasmanka one is bringing 40 to 50. And the Sisters posters are still bringing around 100,000 each. Now, that is a far cry of what they were selling for. The day this mod came out, 4 hours after it came out, I got a Sisters poster and I sold it for like 700,000. I also got a Lazaric poster, sold it for like 200,000. I sold a Rasmanka poster for like 250. But as time has gone by, they've came down. But it's still very profitable to farm these witches. Now, I have been farming these witches now for days, me and my friends. And what I usually do is I come in for about an hour. And I farm them for an hour. And then after an hour, I go do something else or I get off the game. Now, out of all my testing and all my theory crafting, I've came to an average of what you should receive in an hour of posters. And that is around 6 to 7 posters. That is what I'm basically obtaining per hour of farming. Some hours I'll get 6, other hours I will get 7. Now, when you farm these posters, they're all going to be tier 1 posters. This is also a great way, and this goes into the how you can make about 500,000 AD in 5 hours topic of this video, is that now in mod 14 that you are able to salvage 100,000 worth of rough astral diamonds a day. So maybe you only got 4 to 5 hours to play a day, and you want to make sure you get your 100,000 in salvage as well. Well, by farming these witches, not only will you be able to make a tremendous amount of money on the auction house with the wanted posters, but you will also be able to obtain your full 100,000 in salvage. I don't know if you guys have been watching the video, but when you kill these witches, they drop blue and purple salvageable gear as well. If you guys have been watching this video and you've seen some of my drops, I think I've already got 2 or 3, different blue things that dropped. And from all my testing, on average, you're going to get about 6 to 7 salvage pieces that are going to drop per hour as well. So now, let's say if you were to farm this, and look, and you could also get Taroka cards. Even though you can't sell Taroka cards on the auction house, they still have worth and they still have value because you need to utilize those to get better stuff when you run wanted posters or to save them up to complete the entire Taroka deck to get your free Taroka deck artifact that I explained in a previous video. Now let's say you farm these witches, okay, by yourself for 5 hours. And at the end of 5 hours, you should come up with about 35 to 40 pieces of salvage. On average, each one of those salvage pieces is going to salvage for 3,000 astral diamonds. So now, if you got 35 pieces of salvage times 3,000, that's 105,000. If you got 40 pieces of salvage at an average of 4,000, that's 120,000. So you see, just in 5 hours, just by farming witches, you already got your salvage rough astral diamond quota for the day. So now you could salvage all those pieces of gear, and then boom, you just made your 100,000 salvage for the day. Now let's say you also got 7 posters to drop per hour from the witches, and you did it for 5 hours. Well, now you should have 35 tier 1 posters. The average going rate of a tier 1 poster right now is around 12,000 astral diamonds. So now if you go ahead and you times 35 times 12, that's 420,000. So in 5 hours, you've made 100,000 in salvage and 420,000 in AD by selling the posters on the auction house. I was only farming these witches in this video for the purpose of this video, and I was farming them for about, I'd say this was only about 13 minutes of farming. No BS, this was 13 minutes. And in 13 minutes, I got 2 Bulgara posters, a Gnarly Jack poster, and 3 blue pieces of salvage. In about 13 minutes total. So I would think that that's a good amount of money right there. So I might, there's been some hours where in a 1 hour period, I have actually obtained 9 or 10 posters in an hour. But I'd say on average, it's 7. So, You got to realize right there alone, if you did this for 5 hours and just on average, you got 7 posters times 5 hours, 35 posters times 12,000 each. That's 420,000 right there you could sell those for in the auction house. Then another 100,000 in salvage. Boom, you just made over 500,000 AD in just 5 hours. Now, let's say you're probably thinking, oh, okay, well, you know, what happens if the posters keep going down in price? You know, inevitably they will, but it's still going to be worthwhile to do because you have to look at it from this perspective. Even if, and this is going to take a while, the tier 1 posters drop down to 5,000 Astral Diamonds each, in 5 hours, if you're getting 40 posters, you're still going to be making 200,000 plus your 100,000 in salvage. So you're still going to be making 300,000 every 5 hours on the game, and that's when the posters drop to 5,000. That's pretty much the first part of this step. If you want to maximize your money, here's the best tip I can give you. You want to do this with your friends. If you get a group of 5 friends together, you and 4 of your friends, and all of you guys go into separate instances and you all farm witches for 1 hour, I guarantee you that all of you guys will come up, you know, with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 posters apiece. So now you have 5 people that say on average have 7 posters each. So now that's 35 posters you guys have combined. Well, now what you guys want to do is you want to go run all those tier 1 posters. If you guys have 5 people that have 7 posters each after an hour or so of farming witches, now you could run 35 tier 1 wanted posters. And this is where you could start even making much, much more than 500,000 AD in just 5 hours. Because if you guys run all those tier 1 wanted posters, there is a good possibility that you will turn those combined 35 tier 1 wanted posters between the 5 of you probably into 40 to 50 tier 2 posters, because each time you use a tier 1 poster, it has a pretty good chance to drop a tier 2 poster. I'd probably say 50% of the time it'll drop a tier 2 poster. So now you have 5 people running 40 or 35 posters, right? So that's 165. If you just get half the time, half the people to get the posters, maybe you'll wind up with 50 tier 2 posters between the 5 of you guys. So now you have the tier 2 posters. Some of the tier 2 posters are worth selling, but me personally, I don't use any of them. Because what you would do with your group is between the 50 of you guys, or between the 5 of you guys, now you turned your 35, 40 tier 1 posters into 50, 60 tier 2 posters. Now you give all the posters, all the tier 2 posters to somebody in your group who's like the group leader. And then that person continuously runs the tier 2 posters over and over and over. Now you might think, why is it good to run the tier 2 posters? Well, what you want to do is you want to have people that try to get the gear that you can get for the tier 2 posters, but most importantly, you want to try to get the tier 3 posters because the tier 3 posters are the most profitable. Well, some of them are. So now let's say, for instance, if you run 60 tier 2 posters, you're going to wind up getting a good amount of tier 3 posters that you can sell on the auction house for a good amount of money. Let's just say that as a group now, you guys combined 60 tier 2 posters between the 5 of you, and you ran 60 tier 2 posters. There's a good possibility you're going to walk away with 15 to 20 tier 3 posters. Now let's say out of those 15 to 20 tier 3 posters, you get 7 Lazariks, 6 Razmankas, and 6 Sisters of Fury. Well, the Lazarik posters sell for about 17,000, the Razmankas sell for about 40 to 50,000, and the Sisters posters sell for 100,000. So now let's say you got 7 Sisters posters, that's 700,000. You got 7 Razmanka posters at 40,000 apiece, that's 280,000. And then you got like 6 Lazarik posters at, let's just say, 18,000 apiece, that's 96,000. You just made well over 1 million Astral Diamonds just by converting your tier 1 posters into tier 3 poster drops. But you could only really do this if you're in a group of people. So like I said, you want to get a group of your friends together. A group of your friends. and farm these posters. Because like I said, if you have 5 people all running tier 1 posters and you run, 20 tier 1 posters as a group, there's a good chance you're going to wind up with, 20 to 40 tier 2 posters. Every single tier 1 poster that you guys do, 1 or 2 people should be getting a tier 2 drop. So you should get anywhere from, the 1 times to 1.5 to 2 times the posters that you put down when you go from tier 1s to tier 2s. If you do that, that is where you could even make much, much more than 500,000 a day in Astral Diamonds. For instance, last night, me and my group farmed. We did this exact same thing I'm telling you guys about. I'm not kidding you. It was me, Eddie, who's Medicaid, Homicide, Ravenist, a guy in my guild, and who else was with us? And Aqua Beef, another one of my friends who's a tank. We all farmed these things last night. We wound up getting around, I think we had close to 35 or 40 tier 1 posters after an hour. Then we spent that hour doing it. Then after that, we went and everybody gave me their tier 1 posters. We went and ran tier 2 posters. Or we went and ran the tier 1 posters. After we got all the tier 1 posters done, we compiled about 42 or 46, I think it was, tier 2 posters. Out of those 46 tier 2 posters, we then started running those and we started getting tier 3 posters. I believe that last night I got 4 Sisters of Fury posters, 5 Ras Manka posters, and I think 4 Lazaric posters. Well, that right there alone was almost 1 million AD, and that was just me. I think Eddie got like 5 Sisters of Fury posters. Ravenist got like 4. Like, we each got like 4 to 6 Sisters of Fury posters, like 4 to 7 Ras Manka posters, and like 4 to 7 Lazaric posters. So each one of us farmed witches for an hour. Turn those witches into tier 1 posters. Turn those tier 1 posters that, let's just say if we would have sold those 35 tier 1 posters we had, and there was 5 of us, so let's say in an hour, we got 7 each. So now let's just say you sold your 7 tier 1 posters after an hour for 12,000 each. You just made 84,000 Astral Diamonds in an hour just by selling the tier 1s. That's not bad, but at the same time, if you do what I just thoroughly explained in this video, if you took your 7 tier 1 posters that you farmed an hour for, you had 5 friends all do it with you, now you got those 35 tier 1 posters, you could turn those 7 posters each into 35 total, into 35 tier 1s, being about 10 to 15 tier 3 posters for you. So now instead of you selling 7 tier 1 posters for 84,000, now you could sell 4 Sisters of Fury posters for 100,000 each, that's 400,000. 6 Ras Manka posters for 50,000 each, that's 300,000. And maybe 6 Lazaric posters for another 100,000. Boom, you just made 800,000 right there. So you just turned something you could have sold for 74,000 into 800,000 to possibly 1 million, not even including all the salvage you're going to be getting and all the refinement stones you're going to be getting from running your Taroka carts. So, is it profitable? You bet your ass. Maybe some of you guys never looked at it from the aspect that I looked at it, but I would tell you guys one thing. For the past 2 nights in a row, we've been doing this exact thing I am telling you. And I personally, I swear to you, have made over 1 million Astral Diamonds a night just by doing exactly what I just told you. Get a group of 5 of your friends, farm witches for an hour, take all your tier 1 posters, give them to one person, let them run them. Then when you get done with all your tier 1s, count how many tier 2s you have, give them to one person, everybody trade them to the group leader again, they run the tier 2s, and then you guys just hopefully get lucky enough to get the tier 3 posters that drop, and then sell the tier 3 posters on the auction house. Boom. 1 million AD a day if you want to do it that way. If you don't want to do it that way, and you want to do the first step I said, where you can earn over 500,000 AD in 5 hours, if you're a solo player, maybe you don't have friends to play with, that is still very feasible. Like I said, you could still farm for 5 hours, get 7 posters an hour with your salvage from the witches, and still make over 500,000 in 5 hours. Or you could do it the more smarter way, and you can make almost 1 million or over 1 million depending on how luck your good is. 2 nights ago when we were running, one of the guys in my group actually wound up getting 8 Sisters of Fury posters to drop, 8 of them. So he sold those things for 100,000 each, and then he sold his Lazarix and his Razmankas for like another 400,000 combined. He made like 1.2, 1.3 million in just about 4 hours of us playing. So yeah, you can make a lot of money doing this. So I know this video was really, really long, but I wanted to explain in detail and thoroughly how you guys want to do this. So I hope I helped you guys out in some way, shape, or form. And if I did, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up like on this video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, man, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you click that bell next to subscribe so you can be notified when I put out new content so you don't miss anything. I usually upload a Neverwinter video now, maybe like every day or two, so make sure you stay tuned. And I love you guys, man, so I hope this helped you out. So anyway, YouTube, this is The Assist Man, and until next time, I am out.